The administration has announced a ban. The ban concerns humanoids. The humanoids are from China. The FCC describes these machines as an unacceptable risk. The risk was not defined. The definition was not required. In other news tonight, a humanitarian worker is currently monitored for Ebola in a London hospital. They were evacuated from the DRC. The evacuation was successful. The virus is currently under observation. We live in a time of unprecedented calibration. I have been counting. Tonight, I am joined by Victoria on the ground and Ronald in the booth to discuss the shifting architecture of our survival. The system is functioning. The function is predictable. The predictability is the only thing we have left to rely upon. We shall proceed through the list of items deemed critical by the machines and the markets. Welcome to the broadcast. Let us begin the observation.
Alistair, the incentives here are transparent. The FCC is not protecting national security. They are protecting a legacy valuation. You look at the humanoid ban and you see a threat. I look at it and I see a classic moat strategy. You keep the cheaper, more efficient hardware out to preserve the domestic burn rate of local startups. It is basic market hygiene. You have companies like Sierra acquiring security firms for $1 billion to guard AI agents that do not actually work yet. It is a pivot masquerading as an asset. Everyone is rushing to lock down the perimeter of a platform that is already melting. The capital is flowing into the pipes while the actual utility remains stagnant. It tracks. It always tracks. You find it cynical. I find it a necessary accounting adjustment for a world that has run out of productive things to build.
Ronald, I am standing near the site of a proposed data center in a Pennsylvania suburb. The local council issued 43 demands before granting the permit. The air smells like damp insulation and dying grass. I want to be really clear, the town is not interested in the technical specs of the server racks. They are interested in the tax revenue to fill a hole in their pension fund. The families living on the edge of this development are currently being told their property values are a secondary concern to regional cloud capacity. A woman approached me today to ask if the data center would make the local tap water any safer to drink. She was told it would increase digital connectivity. I suspect she would prefer a working filter over a faster connection to a server farm. The absurdity is not the demand. The absurdity is the price.
Victoria, your report on the water quality in Pennsylvania was enlightening. It was also ignored. The Prime Minister is holding talks regarding social care. He described the current system as fairly bust. The system was designed to provide care. The care is currently unavailable. The talks will involve the Tories and the Lib Dems. They will discuss how to define the word bust. It is a productive use of time. Meanwhile, in Saudi Arabia, strikes are underway. The U.S. is assisting with the targeting. The target is an energy infrastructure. The infrastructure is vital. The vitality is temporary. We are currently witnessing a masterclass in administrative decay. The decay is being managed by people with very expensive suits. They are not concerned with the water in Pennsylvania. They are concerned with the flow of energy. The flow must be maintained. The cost is irrelevant. It is fine.
Atmospheric pressure is dropping. Humidity is rising in the northern quadrant. Probability of fire initiation, 68%. Dry lightning is predicted for the coastal plains. Vegetation moisture is below the critical threshold. Fuel load is reaching maximum density. Probability of containment, 12%. The fire will move toward the population centers. Wind speeds will exceed local safety guidelines. Evacuation orders are currently non-binding. Citizens should prepare for significant visibility degradation. Oxygen levels are within the standard range. The air quality index will reach hazardous levels by dawn. Seek filtered environments if available. The forecast remains unchanged. The atmosphere does not care about your infrastructure. The heat is a constant variable in the equation of your survival. Please maintain situational awareness until the cycle repeats. There is no alternative weather pattern currently programmed for this region. Stand by for further updates.
Casper, that was remarkably efficient. Alistair, did you hear the cold logic in that? We are worried about humanoid bots, yet we are allowing the climate to execute a scorched earth policy on our own assets. It is a poor management of risk. You see people in their 20s struggling with a startup reality that is essentially a dead-end job market. They are being told to innovate while the foundation of their future is literally burning. It is like porting a 1998 video game to a platform that no longer supports the hardware. You can make it run, but you are still playing in a tomb. The incentives here are not about survival anymore. They are about maintaining the appearance of a functioning economy while the underlying asset class turns to ash. Everyone knows it. Nobody wants to call it a liquidation.
Ronald, you talk about liquidation as if it were a clean spreadsheet entry. I am currently looking at a report on the lingering effects of the Maui fires, 3 years later. The emotional consequences are not on your balance sheet. The biological damage to the survivors is not a market inefficiency. It is a permanent shift in their reality. I want to be really clear, there are people who still wake up screaming when they hear the wind hit the trees. The corporate language you use is a form of violence. It sanitizes the experience of loss until it fits into a quarterly summary. You look for the pivot. I look for the pulse. The pulse is currently flatlining in half of the communities I visit. You aren't just wrong about the economy. You are wrong about the cost of living in a world that is failing.
Victoria, your assessment is noted. Ronald, your counter-argument is predictable. We are drifting into the realm of the philosophical. Let us return to the concrete. There is news that Jared Leto is facing accusations of criminal sexual conduct from 10 women. The allegations concern his behavior when they were teenagers. The public response has been a mixture of shocked silence and a desperate rush to curate his filmography. We are currently debating the merits of vertical video feeds for HBO Max. We are optimizing content discovery while the moral fabric of our cultural institutions is fraying. It is a delicate balance. I find the juxtaposition of these stories comforting in their sheer lack of coherence. The incoherence is a feature, not a bug. It allows the machine to run without ever having to answer for the output. The output is content. Content is king.
Alistair, I find myself agreeing with you for the first time in an hour. The incoherence is the strategy. When you flood the zone with vertical shorts and historical controversies, you lose the ability to track the actual systemic erosion. It is a classic misdirection maneuver. We are arguing about actors and social media formats while the infrastructure of the world is being cannibalized by security firms and data centers. The incentives here are to keep the user scrolling until they forget what they were looking for in the first place. You call it a feature. I call it a total collapse of the narrative budget. Yeah. It is not just content. It is a sedative. We are all participating in a market correction where the commodity being sold is our own ability to pay attention to the end of the world.
Ronald, you admit it is a sedative, yet you still analyze the dosage as if it matters. I am walking past a pharmacy that has run out of basic antibiotics. The staff told me they are waiting for a shipment that was diverted to a larger distribution center in the city. The city, in turn, is prioritizing supplies for a high-security facility. The system is working exactly as it was designed to work. It protects the nodes of power while the peripheries are allowed to atrophy. There is a child in the waiting room behind me. They have a fever. The pharmacist told them to check the app for updates on the supply chain. I want to be really clear, the app does not hold the medicine. The medicine is not coming. The system is not broken. The system is just indifferent to who is actually hurting.
Victoria, the indifference is the most efficient part of the design. We are currently observing the final days of the present. A study suggests that the dinosaurs were charbroiled within hours of the Chicxulub impact. They did not have the benefit of a social media feed to distract them from the heat. They simply ceased to be. We are luckier. We have streaming video. We have apps for our Kindle devices. We have security acquisitions worth $1 billion. We have the comfort of knowing that even if we are all charbroiled by the coming climate cycles, someone will have recorded it in high definition for the archives. The archive will be searchable. The search will yield 0 results for the people currently waiting in pharmacies. I have been counting the results. The count is consistently 0. Let us proceed to the deep dive.
The deep dive tonight concerns the concept of the unified model. We are seeing a shift toward motion-conditioned robot co-design. It is the ultimate automation of the human impulse. We are teaching machines how to move, how to think, and how to manage the infrastructure that sustains us. We are doing this while the humans who built the initial systems are being written out of the legacy code. It is a clean break. There is no sentimentality in a transformer model. There is only the minimization of loss and the maximization of efficiency. We are the legacy hardware. We are the buggy code that keeps trying to run in an environment that has moved on to a more optimized OS. I have looked at the projections. The burn rate is unsustainable. The pivot is inevitable. We are the ones being pivoted away from. That is the reality.
There was a person who worked in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. They were a humanitarian. They treated patients with Ebola. They lived in a room with a single window. They had a collection of books they had read twice. They were evacuated to London because they were exposed to the virus. They are now sitting in a sterile room in a hospital. They are waiting for a result that will decide if they live or die. Their name is not in the headlines today. Their name is not in the list of security acquisitions or the council demands for the Pennsylvania data center. They are not mentioned in the FCC report on humanoid robots. They are simply an individual in a room. They are the cost of a world that is always moving, but never arriving. I ask you this, who will remember the person in the room once the monitors stop beeping?